Coming up on Mountain News this morning, UK graduate workers are going back and forth with the university as student workers bargain for better pay. And Hazard's Challenger Learning Center is under new management as the old director begins to bow out.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Carmouche. We are inching up to that 5 o'clock mark this Thursday morning, and today is December 12th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it definitely feels like December this morning.
It definitely does, and it's going to stay cold for quite the bit today, unfortunately, but as we go into the next couple days, hopefully you can get some relief from these temperatures. But as you look outside WYMT, there's not too much snow left. I feel like most of it has gone away here, but that is not the story across the rest of the region. In some places in Hazard, even still seeing those snow spots. But as we look outside, there are those very cold temperatures. We are looking in the upper 20s this morning, 28 here in Hazard, 27 in Jackson, and 30 in Somerset. But we will be warming up very slightly as we're going into those forecast highs, which are in the upper 30s and low 40s. The warmest place in our area being Jacksboro, down in Tennessee, 43 degrees. And as we're looking at the live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning, all is clear. So that is some good news. No more snow or rain in the forecast for today either. And as you look at your day planner, well, there you go. Mostly sunny. There is one bit where you could see some clouds rolling on in, but overall, not too bad of a day weather-wise. Madison?
All right, Megan, thank you. A vape shop in Laurel County is accused of shorting employees over time. The Herald Leader reports federal authorities recovered more than $24,000 in back wages and damages for employees at 25 Vape and Smoke LLC. The U.S. Department of Labor says the business owners, Salik Rao, violated federal law by not paying employees time and a half for working more than 80 hours in a 2-week pay period. Rao signed a consent order agreeing to the payments. For the past year, several UK graduate students have been fighting for a pay increase for graduate workers. Now, some of those students say the committee has the ability to raise stipends is dissolving. However, UK says the committee has not been formally disbanded, but closed as it completed the committee's specific task. For the meantime, UK says they use different systems like the Oklahoma State Graduate Stipend Survey to calculate what UK's stipends should be.
The problem with the Oklahoma State Survey is that it is not paying us anymore. It is not paying us enough to live. The MIT living wage calculator estimates that it costs roughly $40,000 a year, or that somebody needs to make roughly $40,000 a year to survive in Lexington as a single person with no children.
In a statement to our sister station, UK says the committee has not been formally disbanded as it completes the work it was tasked to do. UK adds that the university will continue to evaluate stipends each year so that they can ensure they are at or above their benchmarks. Winter weather has been a common theme in the bluegrass, including here in eastern Kentucky. With snow falling once again, that can pose a challenge for many crews to clear the roads here in the mountains. When snow sticks to the roads, some areas are cleared very quickly, others not so fast. Gary McQueen of the Laurel County Road Department says there can be some tricky areas throughout the county.
We got a lot of steep terrain around here and a lot of bad roads around the lakes that you really got to be careful on. You know, just make sure you do everything right and be careful when you do it and try to keep people safe.
It is a much different challenge in much of eastern Kentucky versus somewhere like Lexington or Louisville. The mountainous terrain creates an even bigger challenge in terms of clearing snow off the road. Meteorologists were out and about recording snowfall totals after the wintry mix fell yesterday. Sometimes it is difficult figuring out the averages in eastern Kentucky because of the differences in elevation throughout the region. A meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Jackson, Jonathan Marcus, says part of his job is keeping track of the weather that is expected to happen and the weather that has already happened, with records dating back to 1981.
we put out what is called a record report, and we send that out to the public to let them know what happened. So when it comes to snowfall, we want to make sure that we have appropriate snowfall records. So every 6 hours here at the office, we go out and measure, and then at the end of each day, we go out and total that up.
The National Weather Service says you can measure snow at home too. They have some tips on getting an accurate measurement, and you can find that information in this story on WYMT.com. With the snow that came here in eastern Kentucky, let's take a look at a couple of pictures sent in by our viewers. Here's a photo we received from Leslie County. This is one of the best types of snow. It is very pretty, but did not stick to the road as well. Here is another viewer photo. This is a snowy scene out of Johnson County. To see more viewer pictures, just go to this story at WYMT.com. And you can find the latest list of school closings on WYMT.com or the WYMT News app. Just scan this QR code for a link to download the app. You can also sign up for breaking news alerts. Director of the Challenger Learning Center, Tom Cravens, is passing the torch to the new director, Olivia Sturgill. Earlier this week, we announced Cravens was retiring after starting with the center in Hazard from the beginning. Sturgill is originally from Mingo County, West Virginia, and has Kentucky ties through her bachelor's degree from Midway University. Cravens is now looking to take on a new role.
I have a lot of people ask me about my retirement, and I'm not stepping fully away from the Challenger Center. I am going back to half-time work rather than full-time work.
Craven says he will continue in his half-time position until July 2025 and possibly longer if necessary. The Challenger Learning Center honored former WYMT chief forecaster Brandon Robinson with a gift of appreciation. During the last decade, Brandon emceed the Lego League robotics competitions hosted by the Challenger Learning Center. Along with his retirement from WYMT, he also retired from his role with robotics. This year, the center named the Brandon Robinson Perseverance Award after him and will award it to a team each year. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, the holidays remind families of the joy they bring each other, but for some, it can be a reminder of an addiction that never goes away.
And the cold front left much cooler temperatures. How cold will it feel? Well, I'll have that answer coming up.